Hello everyone, this is Energstics, and welcome to part 2 of my Applied Energistics History of Mods. So we're starting with 1.7.10, because I can't get the 1.7.2 version to work for some reason. Same with any mods that I try on 1.7.2, it seems. Most of these I'm going to be trying off of Curseforge. That obviously is the main A2 site, but we'll just stick with the ones here, just in case. So, with the earliest version for 1.7.10, as you can see here, obviously a lot of the foundation for 2 was put together. So for example, you've got the crystal growth accelerator, you've got some of the crafting storage blocks, you've got some new textures and things here and there. Other additions, such as the charger, the molecular assembler, is now, I think, condensed, or it was new, I can't remember, because I think the multi-block structure on the first one was that, from memory. Vibration chamber, the skystone chest, and obviously the meteor itself with skystone. A bunch of other different aspects, security terminal, charge staff. You've got the nether quartz tools, not just the Certus quartz. You've got the different coloured cables for obviously covered, dense cables, glass cabling, smart cables. You've got the different terminals, monitors, panels and such, P2P tunnels, the different crystals and their seeds, and then a bunch of other components. You've got the different cards to use in different situations, a bunch of other ingredients, paintballs, and so on. As you can see, biometric card, basic card, pattern coded patterns, meteoric compass, and so on. So, on to the latest for 1.7. In the latest, for the most part, it seems like it was just refining things. Obviously, with bug fixes, there's certainly other. Obviously, I missed the sort of facades and otherwise prior, which were obviously there. I'm assuming maybe more support blocks through these, but for the most part, everything else in the main part of the mod seems to be the same, and mostly just bug fixing and working things out. Otherwise, we'll move on to 1.10.2. In 1.10.2, as far as I can tell, other than obviously things being rearranged in the creative menu, I'm not sure if there were certain additions like the inverted toggle bus, or I maybe just missed it. Other than that, probably not too much different. Everything else seems to be here, for the most part. I guess maybe the slabs or stairs, unless I happened to miss them before. But everything else seems to be pretty much the same, for the most part. So, obviously you can easily go between them and find out, but as far as I can tell on that, not too much here, or at least a few minor additions that I'm not too sure of. Anyways, we'll check the latest. And in the latest, not too much different either, just pretty much bug fixes and a few other minor tweaks probably to each sort of thing, for the most part. And also as well, the file size kind of demonstrates that as well, with it being quite a small difference. So, nothing too different there. Unless I guess maybe more side support, but I'm not too sure. Otherwise though, we'll go to 1.12 and then 1.12.2 just to see sort of the differences. So just I think the earliest 1.12 and then the latest 1.12.2. In 1.12, for some reason, Minecraft is trying to include itself in too many different creative tabs for whatever reason, so ignore those, they clearly don't count. So yeah, that shouldn't be the case. But for the most part, I don't think much has changed. Mostly a port of sorts. unless there's something I've missed. So there's FE, technically. Fluid, which I can't actually forget FE because that makes sense compared to just being only ME, RF, and otherwise. So there's FE instead, no RF, even in the earliest of 112s, which surprised me. There's no Tesla though, so that's interesting. I may actually check back at the 110 just in case, or it may have never been supported, who knows. Other than that, I think everything is about the same for the most part. Just mostly porting over, possibly a few other minor things. As it seems. Don't know if there was more to do with dense energy cells. It's somewhere in between 1.7 and 10 I may have missed. Maybe not. Either way, seems to be it. We'll move on to 1.12.2, the latest version of the mod. And in the latest, it seems to be possibly about the same. The only thing changing in JEI with pages is how many facades there are, depending on what mods I've got included, but we'll see just in case. Okay, so we've got an ME fluid interface, fluid import bus, which weren't there before. Again, FE support, there's no RF at all. So a few minor additions there. Fluid formation planes, fluid annihilation plane, which I don't think were there before. Got the fluid interface, got a few texture changes to the quartz tools. Got the cards that are looking a bit different. We'll probably have a bunch of other aspects added to it as well. Other than that, most of the cards and other features seem to be fairly similar. Obviously some probably adding fluid support besides just what it was before with items and blocks. So, for the most part, a fair amount the same, a few minor additions. Well, fluid additions are kind of a big deal, I guess, but either way. So yeah, other than that, it seems to be about it. A ton of different facades, obviously, based on what mods I've got in here. Otherwise though, thanks so much for watching, and goodbye.